welcome back to Print Design. In today's video we are diving into the exciting world of flyer design using Adobe Photoshop. What are flyers? Whether you are promoting an event, advertising a product, or simply want to create a stunning visual piece, designing a flyer can be a powerful tool to grab attention and convey your message effectively. But before designing a flyer, there are several elements you should consider. Number 1, define the purpose and target audience. Number 2, planning and sketching. Number 3, selecting the right images and graphics. Number 4, typography and text placement. Number 5, color and visual elements. Number 6, we have layout and composition. And lastly but not the least, number 7, we have final touches and exporting. Okay, so without wasting further time, let's dive right into it. I'm going to show you how I designed this flyer using Adobe Photoshop. Okay, the first thing I did was go to File, create my new document. I'll be working in pixels, so my resolution I had to reduce to 100. The height 1080, the width 1080 pixels. So I create. Now take a look at this. The first thing are my typography. The first one I imported was Invitation. I use the font Britannic Signature for this. So I just have to scale this. I just duplicate it by using the command Alt-Z, and I'm going to type the second thing on the invitation, which is the Asia's family invites you for Thanksgiving service. After that, I did change the font to MTN Sans. Duplicate Alt-Z. Now you have Anne. I just typed Anne. The next thing was to type baptism, everything in caps, baptism of their children. So I have to break that from there. Then everything should be centered, aligned. The next idea was to import a shape. Make sure that I unlink. I bevel the top right edge to 60. So I reduce the line height. The next was to duplicate and type the date, the time and the date of the event. Okay, church service at PC Up Station. So I'm just playing with the font sizes, making sure that everything is exactly what I want. Remember, the font sizes you use on the design like this is very important. Okay, typography and the positioning, the text placement. Okay, that's under point 4. So I've used just 3 fonts here on the design. I'm going to scale this. The 3 fonts I used on the design was just to set a tone, okay, to enhance the readability of the flyer. So I select fonts that are legible and reflect the styles and personality of the brand or of this event. So experiment with different fonts combination, sizes and alignments to create hierarchy and visual interest. So I just imported this shape like how we did above, but I had to link everything, so bevel the edges. I'm going to type reception. Reduce the size and make sure my rectangle fits. So I'm going to align, center align, vertically and horizontal alignment. The next thing was to make sure that I duplicated the text, type in the last typography on the design, which is follows immediately after service at the Azia's residence at Upstation, Bamenda. So whenever I like the limited spaces, I just have to center align Azia's family. What I did here was just after Azia's, I have to center align, so I break Upstation. So now everything is centered align. Now I reduce the font size to 20, so it's looking good at the moment. The next was just to make sure everything's at the right position, taking the shape behind Anne, so you can clearly see that is behind. So I'm going to change this there to white, change this to white. You can see how the design is coming. The next was just to select everything and make sure that it's centered align. Okay, select whatever you want to align at the center. It should be aligned, perfectly aligned on the design. Just duplicated that to type the date of the event, which is the 9th. So this is just a layout that I choose. Okay, it's a layout I choose personally for the design. So yeah, as a designer, you're the one to come out with your layout of the design, because you want to tell a particular story on that design. Okay, remember, when it comes to the layout, always strive for balance and organized designs. Arrange your elements in a cohesive and visually pleasing manner. Utilize grids, guides and layers in Photoshop to maintain consistency and take adjustments easily. So right now I'm going to import my shape. I'm using a pen tool. What I do, I just click and drag. So now I have that shape. What I did was just duplicate the shape. Guys, if you follow my last tutorial, this is exactly what we did. We just created the shape, duplicated, pull it to the left. Now we change the color to white, so we have that effect there. The next thing I had to do was now start importing my images. The first images I did import was the image for the masking. So I'm creating a clipping mask with this. What I did was just to select, make sure it's above that shape, select, create your mask. You right click, you select and you right click. So we have now the mask, and I'm going to select that shape, the one behind, and I give a gradient overlay. So from the gradient overlay, you can always change the shade of your colors. So I'm starting from darker shape, lighter shade at the center, then enter darker shape. Okay, so we have 3 different units, 3 different colors there. We have the same colors with 3 different shades. So now what I have to do is just to pick that color. I have to pick the color exactly as it is on the flyer. So we have that. You can always pause the video and you copy the color codes element as you see on the screen. So if you want to have the same color, but I urge you guys to try your own colors, tweak the design, make it your own style, guys. So the next thing I did was to make sure that I have my drop shadow. This is a drop shadow, and what I did was just to rotate, duplicate with Alt Z, take it to the bottom, to the right bottom, rotate, then rotate it to about 12 degrees. And now all I did is just to make sure that I reduce the font size of this so it becomes visible, it doesn't interfere with the shape. Just go through the design, trying to position some stuff's alignment, making sure that my layout is exactly what I want. So here what I did was just to give it a drop shadow and a stroke. Okay, a drop shadow and a stroke. Just play with the values and see what you get. We have the size. I reduce the shadow as well. Amazing. So I'm just picking colors, just using the same colors on the design. Remember, colors are very important. Always choose the right colors for your design, colors that play a significant role. So right here what I do is I'm just going to use to creating our layer on the 9th, and I'm going to use blue. I just wanted to create a little bit of contrast on the design, so I decided to use blue. And the next thing was to import the image for masking. Okay, remember images do tell a story. So I have this now. Make sure that the image goes behind the text, or the image should always be behind the text. So you just drag the image, drop on the clipping mask by holding the Alt button. Then from there you brush. Remember, the white is to reveal, the black is to hide. So I'm going to import the second image, drop where I want it to be. It should be behind. I'm going to take it down the other layers, drag the image, drop on my layer mask by holding the Alt button, use the white to display what I want people to see. Then I use the black to hide what I don't want people to see. So the next thing I did was to import the last background of the design, which is just so it has to be right down. Then what I did was just to reduce the opacity. Right now I'm just brushing, making sure everything is perfectly placed where it should be. So presently my invitation is not visible, so I have to select the image that hides my invitation. Then I pull it a little bit to the right, brush using my white. Okay, I'm using the black to hide. Then I'm using the white to reveal. Remember, you have to select the mask, not the image. Okay, there are two different icons that you select, the mask and not the image. So I'm just brushing like that. The last thing I did was to make sure that I used the blue color for my contrast. I created a layer behind, just above the background I created. So I'm going to erase it back because I wanted to change the value. So what I did was to just a slight touch, I increase a little bit, then I dropped it. So now you can see that we have that blue light popping out from the background. So that's just exactly how I created it. I just went around, copied, drop shadows from baptism, put it invitation, making sure that everything, when you use layer mask at times, you always make sure that it doesn't hide your text, because that's a common error. And there you have it. Designing a flyer in Photoshop is a creative process that allows you to showcase your brand or event with impact. Remember to consider the purpose, target audience, typography, color, and layout to create a visually stunning flyer that grabs attention and delivers your message effectively. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Print Design, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more design tutorials like this one. Thanks for watching and happy designing.